Hey there, Pokemasters, Minecrafters, and YouTubers. RSConscraft here, back with another battle. This one's gonna be against a random passerby that I found by the name of Al. And although he has an Ubers on his team, being Mewtwo, I always like a challenge, so I let it slide. He has some pretty big threats on his team. One being the Volcarona, which can always set up those quiver dances, and then just sweep, and then just wreck through your team. With the Fiery Dance, which has a pretty good chance of setting up its special attack even more. So, once it really gets that speed going, you're gonna have some trouble unless you have something with Focus Sash and a rock type move, or some stealth rocks. He's also got that Harvest Citrus Berry Trevenant, which is always a nuisance. And in the back, he's also got that Minccino, which it's not very common due to its mediocre speed and bad defense stats, but it can definitely wreak some havoc because of the multi-scale ability. And yeah, so let's get this thing started.
Oh merde, tafsik! تسقط دلشلي.
Sorry about that. Okay. So he's gonna lead off with that Minccino, definitely gonna do some damage, as I'll lead off with my Rotom. Now I can tell he's not playing any games here because he goes straight for that Bullet Seed, and I completely blank out, forgetting about this. And once you get to see the first two, you're like, that's probably not gonna kill. But then you get to the third, fourth, and fifth, and you're like, is this gonna kill me? Like, are you serious? And I was fearing that I would die, but I live on one, and pretty much cripple this thing, having its attack with a Will-O-Wisp, and I'm like praying, please don't have a Lumberry, please don't have a Lumberry. And he doesn't, nor the Rostberry, which isn't very common, but whatever. Here, I switch out, wanting to conserve this thing, because it's a Resto Chesto, so if I get a chance, I could definitely come back in with it. Go into my Deadlock. He's still going for the Bullet Seed, so I'm wondering if he's Choice Scarf in some way, because I have a lot of speed invested in my Rotom. So, I still take this very well, due to the fact that, of my typing, and the fact that his attack is half now. Hits 5 times, of course, because of the, Skill Link ability. He switches out now, knowing he can't do anything to me, even with the Rock Blast or the Tail Slap. I go straight for the Reflect, in case he wanted to stay in. Expecting a switch. And now I go for the Light Screen, as his Volcarona sets up the Quiver Dance. And even with the Light Screen up, I know that's going to wear off in another 8 turns. So, yeah, 8 turns. So I know things aren't looking good once that wears off. Because if he can set up enough Quiver Dances, to the point that he can sweep my team, you know, things aren't going to be that good. So I bring in my especially defensive, more especially defensive, at least, Dusclops, as he goes for the, forget what it was, but I think he goes for the, Flamethrower, and then I go for the Disable, expecting another Quiver Dance. Now, I go for the Nightshade, just trying to chip away at his HP, because it only does 50 damage, because it takes the user's, level. And it hits this incoming Togekiss. Now this could be a pretty big problem if it has that Serene Grace ability, because with the Thunder Wave and the Air Slash, I have something like a 24% chance of breaking through. So the Paralyzation happens, and next turn I think we're going to start seeing some Air Slashes. It's a good thing that I got off this residual damage and didn't miss that Will-O-Wisp, because I'm going to start getting Paras and Flinches all day, so it's good that I Willowed that first turn. That residual damage always helps, and you can see the flinching begins. So yeah, it'll be good to have this residual damage if you're fighting one of these, so I recommend that you have something like a Dusclops. He goes for Dazzling Gleam, and with the Light Screen up, and my amazing special defense with the Eviolite, and base 130, it's not gonna do anything, and I'm gonna just keep hitting him with that Nightshade. I got pretty lucky breaking through both the flinch, or not the flinch this time, but the Paralyzation. And here he just continues the shenanigans with Air Slash, and I just go for the Curse. I've had enough of this, and I have another special wall to deal with his Goodra, or his his Volcarona, which being my Goodra. So I'm not really too worried. I just want to get as much residual damage as possible. And I just finished myself off with the Curse, and he's going to take 25% of his HP, away every turn. So here, I'm hoping it's going to live, and it does. The reason why I hope it's going to live is so I can bring in my Heracross and get that Moxie boost with the +2 priority feint. I find this pretty unique, because I don't really see most people running it because of its low power. Pitiful 30, but it breaks through Protect, King Shield, Spiky Shield. So if someone tries to use the Chestnut, I can break through that and revenge kill them because it goes through Spiky Shield. But here I make a mistake. I forget that the light screen wore off, and what I should have done was sacrificed something else like my Rotom, and got a safe switch into my light screener, then canceled out the super effective on my Heracross, and then I could have brought it in and wreaked some havoc with the Rock Blast. It was only +1, so I don't know what I was thinking. Here, as you can see though, this would have been a very good idea. He would have been forced to switch out, because he wouldn't have been able to do anything. But oddly enough, he stays in. Because of the fact that I have Assault Vest, which only allows me to use attacking moves, I take these Fire Blasts very well, and I use Infestation to utilize the fact that I'm taking hits and doing 1/8 of their HP every turn. Along with the accuracy drops from Muddy Water, it's definitely whittling him down and with super effective damage. Here he just continues to Fire Blast. I'm sure he was hoping for the burn or something, which he needed, but I think he would have been better off either switching out and saving this thing so he could use a physical attacker like Trevenant to come in and just wall my Goodra to all ages, because I don't have anything that's super effective. Here, he just goes into his Heracross and goes for the close combat. He should have done this in the first place. He knows he outspeeds me. He's a physical attacker, and even with the minus speed, I don't think that was such a good trade-off. He doesn't even get the Moxie boost, so I'm sure he's like Guts or something. I go for the Swords Dance with my incoming Scizor, knowing that I can take at least one close combat due to my Bug typing, because Bug and Fighting resist each other. But that does a lot of damage. This is a physically defensive Scizor, normally being a Mega, but I can't Mega it because of my Mega Heracross, which needs it a little bit more, I feel, on this team. I go for the Bullet Punch, taking out the Heracross because of its frail physical defense, or relatively. I continue to get Leftovers recovery, and that's all good. I actually, Heracross, although more of a special tank, I once took a +1 Fire Punch from a Dragonite, not even in the rain or anything, so I found that pretty impressive. Here, I don't know what he was thinking. I think he was expecting the Swords Dance, and if he had, that would have been horrible. I would have lost the match. But instead, I go straight for the Bullet Punch, not playing any games, knowing he could have the Flamethrower, or etc. But he goes straight for the Substitute, and I believe that he's actually Choice Scarf, or Choice Specs, and forgot to take off the item, or forgot to take off Sub, or something. But he could have definitely done something there if he hadn't made that misclick, or item weirdness, or whatever it happened to be. Either way, Mewtwo is out of the way, and the Bullet Punch has taken it out once again because of the Technician boosted and everything. I run Pursuit on this Scizor, so that's all good too. I bring him down to about 20%. He eats his Citrus Berry and goes for the Will-O-Wisp. I was praying for this not to hit, but it does. So now I'm at only +1. And I get my Leftovers recovery, and then I get hit by the burn. I was saying, at least don't get the Harvest, because that would be so unlucky, right? No, of course he gets the Harvest. Gets himself back up, so it's as if I did practically nothing. Only 25%. It's as if I did. Now I need to get back up to +2, or +3 even, so I can have a chance at taking this thing out. He doesn't really know what to do. He just keeps Willowing, probably predicting a switch, which would have happened. But I really am positive in my Scizor Pursuit trapping this thing. If he switched out, then that would have been bad too. I get a low roll here. I calculated it on an online calculator. I get a low roll and don't take him out. I'm not even sure that a high roll would have, because this thing is so bulky. It's a very good set with Harvest, Leech Seed, Substitute, an attacking move, and I don't know, something. So here I go for the Pursuit, finally taking him out because he doesn't get that Harvest. It's just, or maybe he does, but I don't think he does. But it's just not enough as I heal. And yeah, that'll pretty much be the game in the bag. He's got only his Minccino left, and I can just take that out with a Bullet Punch. If you enjoyed this battle, leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, leave a favorite. Please comment. I'd love to hear your feedback. Please subscribe if you want to be updated on my battles. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.